Welcome to Global Online. In today's session, we will solve CLAT English Language Previous Year question with clear explanation. You will learn how to approach passage, understand the author's tone, identify key ideas, and answer questions accurately. Let's begin and strengthen your English skill for CLAT 2026. Students, our new CLAT 2026 batch started from 17th of November. Join the batch to get live classes, detailed notes and mock tests and expert guidance for complete English and overall CLAT preparation. Give your preparation a strong foundation with the Global Online. So students, we will first read this passage. From a very early age, I knew that when I grew up, I should be a writer. I had the lonely child's habit of making up stories and holding conversations with imaginary persons. And I think from the very start of my literary ambitions were mixed up with the feeling of being isolated and undervalued. I know that I had a facility with words and a power of facing unpleasant fact, and I felt that this created a sort of private world in which I could get my own back for my failures in everyday life. I wanted to write enormous naturalistic novels with unhappy endings, full of detailed descriptions and arresting smiles, and also full of purple passages in which words were used partially for the sake of their sound. I give all this background information because I do not think one can assess a writer's motives without knowing something of his early development. His subject matter will determine by the age he lives in. At least this is true in a tumultuous revolutionary ages like our own, but before he ever begins to write, he will have acquired an emotional attitude from which he will never completely escape. It is his job to discipline his temperament, but if he escapes from his early influences altogether, he will have killed his impulse to write. I think there are four great motives for writing at any rate of writing prose. They are sheer egoism, desire to seem clever, to be talked about, to be remembered after death, to get your own back on a grown ups who snubbed you in childhood. Aesthetic enthusiasm, desire to share an experience which one feels is a valuable oath not to be missed. Historical impulse, desire to see things as they are, to find out true fact and store them for the use of a posterity. Political purpose, desire to push the world in a certain direction to alter other people's idea of a kind of society that they should strive after. So we can summarize this passage as the author George Orwell reflects on his early development as a writer, linking his childhood loneliness and feeling of being undervalued to his literary ambitions. He argues that a writer's early experiences shape a fundamental emotional attitude that is crucial for their creative impulse, while a writer's specific subject matter is determined by their era. They must discipline but not completely escape these early influences. Orwell then outlines what he believes are the four great motives for writing prose: sheer egoism, aesthetic enthusiasm, the desire to share a valuable experience, historical impulse, the desire to record facts, and political purpose, the desire to change society. So let's discuss questions which are based on this passage. Question is, for the author, aesthetic enthusiasm is an important motive for writing because it, options are given, shapes the thoughts, creates an artistic piece, becomes invaluable, and option D, non-utilitarian. So let's decode the question. This asks for the core reason why aesthetic enthusiasm is a motive based on an Orwell definition. So the passage defines aesthetic enthusiasm as a desire to share an experience with one feels is valuable and ought not to be missed. So we have option 1 here, shapes the thoughts. This is wrong. This is too vague and it is not specific reason Orwell gives for this motive. Second one is creates an artistic piece. This is also wrong. While writing does not create art, this describes an outcome, not the motive itself. The motive is the desire to share valuable experience. In case of option C, becomes invaluable, this one is correct. This directly captures the essence of sharing an experience that is felt to be valuable, making it an end in itself. While option D, non-utilitarian, this is wrong. This is not concept mentioned or implied in the description of aesthetic enthusiasm. So the correct answer will be option C, becomes invaluable. Next question is, the author strongly advocates the writers to option A, avoid any egoistic impression in their work, B, apolitical in their approach, B, contemporary in their treatment of their work, and option D, none of the above. So guys, this question asks for a key piece of advice or a firm belief Orwell holds about how a writer should approach their work. So Orwell states his subject matter will be determined by age he lives in. At least this is a true tumultuous revolutionary age like our own. This implies that writers are inevitably product of their time and should engage with it. So let's see option A, avoid any egoistic impression in their work. This one is wrong. Orwell lists sheer egoism as one of the four great motives. He does not advocate avoiding it, he acknowledges its existence. Option B, be apolitical in their approach. This one is wrong. He explicitly lists political purpose as a key motive in a tumultuous revolutionary age. Being apolitical is not what he advocates. Option C, be contemporary in their treatment of their work. This one is correct. The evidence shows he believes a writer's subject matter is and should be determined by age they live in. While option D, none of the above, this one is wrong since option C is directly supported by the text. Hence, option C will be the correct answer here. Let's move to the next question. Which of the following is a synonym for the word tumultuous? Options are given: chaotic, turbulent, disorderly, and all of the above. So guys, this straightforward vocabulary question asking for a word with a similar meaning. So the word is used in this passage to describe is revolutionary ages. So let's check options. Chaotic, that one is correct as it means in a state of complete confusion and disorder. While option B, turbulent, this one is correct as it means characterized by conflict, disorder, or confusion. Option C, disorderly, this one also correct as it means lacking organization or neatness. So option D, all of the above, this option will be correct here. All three words are strongly synonyms for tumultuous. Let's move to the next question. George Orwell's loneliness during childhood led to option A, estrangement with his father, option B, unhappy days, option C, making up stories, and option D, unpleasant incidents. So guys, this question is asking for a direct consequences of his childhood loneliness as described in the passage. So the first sentence states, I had the lonely child habit of making up stories and holding conversations with imaginary persons. It indicates making up stories. Option C will be correct here. This is direct textual consequences he mentions. So option A, estrangement with his father. This one is wrong. This is not mentioned in the passage. Unhappy days, that one also wrong. While he mentions failure in everyday life, the specific habit linked to loneliness is making up stories. And option D, unpleasant incident, that one is also wrong. This is too vague and not the specific result mentioned. Hence, option C, making up story, will be the correct answer here. Let's move to the next question. Why does Orwell give background information? Option A, he had the lonely child's habit. Option B, it is essential to know about motives of writers. And option C, because of his hysteric impulse. And option D, due to aesthetic enthusiasm. So this question is asking for Orwell's states reason for including detail about his childhood. He explicitly says, I give all the background information because I do not think one can assess a writer's motives without knowing something of his early development. So option A, he had the lonely child habits. This one is wrong. This is the background information itself, not the reason for giving it. Option B, it is essential to know about motives of writer. This option will be correct here. This perfectly paraphrases his stated reason. Option C, because of his hysteric impulse. This one is wrong. Hysterical impulse is defined as the motive for writing or a recording fact, not the reason for this autobiographical aside. Then option D, due to aesthetic enthusiasm. This one is wrong. This is another motive for writing, not the reason for the background information. Hence, option B, it is essential to know about the motives of writers, is correct here. Let's move to the next question. If writer escape from early impulse, he will, options are given, lose his urge to write, be unable to imagine creatively, be able to converse with imaginary characters, and option D, be able to influence other. So guys, this question is asking for the consequences according to the Orwell of a writer completely abandoning their early influences. So the passage states clearly, if he escaped from his early influence altogether, he will have killed the impulse to write. Hence, lose his urge to write. This option will be correct here. This is the direct paraphrase of a killed his impulse to write. Then option B, be unable to imagine creatively. This one is wrong. While this might be a consequence, but it is not the specific textual one Orwell uses. While in case of option C, be able to converse with the imaginary character, this one is wrong. This is the opposite of what would happen. This was a childhood habit born from those early influences. In case of option D, be able to influence other, this one will be wrong. This is not mentioned as a consequence of escaping early impulses. So guys, that's all for today's English language PYQ session. If this video helped you, don't forget to like, share and subscribe to Global Online. And for more CLAT focused lessons, keep practicing, stay consistent. Thank you.